It takes two to make a thing go right. It takes two to take it out of sight. Yeah, man, I just got I set off the dog with my barking.
Oh.
I just got cast in the Journey biopic. I know that's not their song, but I just got cast in the Journey biopic.
But that's what you did to audition for it.
Yeah. They're like, can you sing in a high pitch? And I was like, yeah.
Wait, which one are you?
Journey? I'm Mr. Journey.
Mr. Journey.
This is Written By.
Nice, there you go. There you go.
Somebody,
Cast
hit me up.
Chase.
I will be all of Journey. I have no music ability. I'm kind of tone deaf, and I don't even really like music that much. I'm perfect.
You say that now, but then that's just going to contribute to the lore of how great your performance is, because a year from now, you're going to be on Nardwuar searching through the record store of like, okay, so this is the band that inspired Journey that came up around the same time.
Shout out Journey. Shout out everybody in Journey. Shout out Journey's manager.
Yeah, no shout out to McCarthyism.
No shout out to McCarthyism. Dude, Timothy Chalamet's on one. And that kind of relates with what we're talking about today.
Yes, this is our top 10 movies of 2024.
Dang, dude. This has been both the longest year of my life and also very quick.
Yeah.
Like, I was going through the movies for this year, and I was like, some of the movies, I was like, if you would have told me I watched that 2 years ago, I would have believed you.
I feel that, yeah. I watched a lot of movies this year.
Yes, you did.
A lot of movies. I was looking through my Letterboxd. I saw 60 movies in a theater.
It's crazy,
which some of them independent theaters, a few of them film festivals, but like at least 50 or so. Like I got my money's worth out of my Regal Unlimited subscription.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I'm putting Regal out of business.
Somewhere in a conference room in Regal headquarters, they're like, we got to do something about Robert.
Yeah. They probably have a list of all of the people that are
actually using it to the point where they're losing money.
Yeah. Because also when you see that many movies, it counts towards your points. And so you get a bunch of free food too.
Dude, they're going to kill you.
Yeah.
They're going to assassinate you, man. Your grind too tough. Your swag too hard.
I feel like that's the plot of a movie is they start hunting down all the people
that are making it lose money. That's how they make it profitable.
Yeah.
The only people that survive are the ones that don't even go to the movies that much.
Exactly.
That's fun. We should write that today. No.
Yeah.
All right. Top 10 movies of 2024. Because you watched so many movies, I am very curious to see your list. There's a few that I just know are going to be towards the top of your list.
Yep.
Did you struggle to do just 10?
I did. Like this was like an abnormally great year for movies. There are movies I absolutely love that could have been top 5 of another year that didn't crack the top 10. Like off the top of my head, like Anora, Conclave, Connor O'Malley's Rap World, which is free on YouTube. Those are all movies I think about a lot, and they aren't even in the top 10.
Any of my top 5 could have been number 1 any other year.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead. Disclaimer. The second half of the year, I've missed some heavy hitters. Conclave, which I'm dying to watch.
Yeah.
Anora. Pretty much anything that has come out. I still haven't seen Nosferatu, which just came out this week. I'm excited to go see that. But pretty much anything after September, I've missed, sadly. But I watched some good stuff.
Yeah. No, there's
another disclaimer about my list. Two more disclaimers about my list. One, I didn't include documentaries. I watched a lot of good documentaries that came out this year, including the Superman Christopher Reeve story and Steve Martin's documentary. Those were going to be on my top 10, and then I realized I just don't have room for documentaries on my list.
Yeah.
Next disclaimer, I was going to put my movie on the list. Technically doesn't go out into theaters until next month, making it a 2025 movie.
Sure. So next year we're going to see your movie. Dude, we haven't talked about Written By in forever. We finally saw your first feature you were in.
We sat in a theater and we watched a movie that I was in.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Pretty crazy, right?
Yeah.
Only thing that would have made it better is if you made a cameo in it. Because we'd be like, the Written by Boys feature 2025.
Man, we could have made that happen.
If I
could have been like
we could have definitely
another
made it
doctor or something.
Yeah. Now we could have done, because I didn't know them then. But now I could definitely be like, we got to get Robert up in this. And they'd be like, of course.
Yeah. All right, let's get into this.
Yeah. All right. You want to go first with your number 10?
Sure. Yeah. My number 10 is Terrifier 3.
I was wondering if any of the, because you got really into Terrifier this year.
I watched all of them this year. Yeah. What's your number 10?
My 10, or do you want to talk a bit about Terrifier, or we just go jump right into...
We'll talk after.
Okay. Yeah. My number 10 is Beetlejuice.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so both horror type things.
Yeah. Mine a little less.
Yeah. Man, the thing about Terrifier is like going into it, the public perception of it and kind of the marketing they've leaned with it is like, this is the goriest thing you're ever going to see. And like, I had seen the other two movies and enjoyed them, and so like going into Terrifier 3, I was like, I don't even know if I want to do this tonight, because all of the ads are like, you're gonna throw up,
you're gonna cry and die at the same time.
But what Terrifier does really effectively, or like what they added in Terrifier 2, is aside from there just being a killer clown, there is this whole other component where there's like this mythical link between a hero character and a villain character, and they're kind of like mythologically destined to war with each other, and it adds this really, really interesting dynamic to that type of slasher movie. And Lauren Lavera just gives a great performance. And with that like hero villain dynamic, the gore and everything doesn't really feel excessive.
It feels justified.
Yeah. Or it's like what Terrifier does well is it understands that protagonists have to struggle a lot. And so like the really extreme things that happen to the protagonist just like make them feel all the more badass when they succeed. And it's like, it's really cool to watch, and you're really invested in the characters.
Nice.
And finally, Art the Clown is just a great...
I've heard.
Yeah.
It seems like he's really getting like what Ghostface was when the Scream movies first coming out.
There's a reviewer, Walter Chow or something like that, but he compared Art the Clown to Charlie Chaplin, where he said he's like the dark version of the Tramp, because Charlie Chaplin is completely silent. Yeah. And he just happens to be everywhere, and he's always kind of poking fun at what's happening. Yeah. And Art's kind of the same way, because he's a completely silent character, completely physical performance, and he just always happens to be around. He never like dies or anything, and only he's just kind of angry at the world, and is like kind of making fun of all the violence that we tolerate by I don't know what I'm saying, but
I think you're spitting, dog. Yeah. I need to watch these movies. You just sold me on watching these movies.
Yeah. The first Terrifier is different because there's not the hero character, it's just the clown, but it's still worth a watch.
Yeah. Okay, nice. Well, that's very exciting.
Yeah.
I chose Beetlejuice because, I mean, just visually, I love a Tim Burton movie, and this one felt like he was actually trying again.
Yeah.
This didn't feel like he was just like, yeah, I'll make a movie. It felt like, I don't know, man. I just love watching Beetlejuice run around and cause chaos. I thought it was a fun story. It's not a perfect movie by any means. Like, my biggest complaint was there's no reason for like a whole character.
Yeah.
But also, it's just a movie that I just really enjoyed the whole time. Like, I just had a good time throughout the entire movie. I saw it in theaters. I loved it.
My favorite part of that movie is how they explain not having a certain character.
Oh, yeah, dude, it's so funny.
The real life actor got convicted of some
sex crimes.
Yeah, terrible crimes.
And so they were just like, they made a claim. I was surprised that they like used his likeness so much.
Yeah.
They just made like a claymation version of him and just had him die in the most horrific way possible.
Yeah.
which is a good gag, but also it's even funnier when you know, like,
wait, is he also the guy whose head is bitten off?
Yeah.
Is that so
Yeah.
throughout the rest of the movie he appears,
Yeah.
but his head is gone and he's just like a little throat that's squeaking, and the voice does not sound like him at all.
Nope.
They don't try, but
no, and I think that's really funny. That was the best use of, like, how do we, because they could have just, like, not used him at all.
yeah.
But then, because it was like that Zack Snyder zombie movie when Chris D'Elia, they like CG'd Chris D'Elia out and replaced him with Tig
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, and I remember the whole time watching that movie, and this is gonna sound bad, but the whole time watching this movie, I was like, it feels like this was Chris D'Elia,
Yeah.
and they just needed to replace him.
Yeah.
They did a great job, but this was way better.
Yeah.
It's like if you have a canceled actor in your movie,
Yeah, just take his head off.
just take his head off. Nice.
All right. Number 9. Have Dune Part 2.
All the way at 9?
Dude, it's
Whoa! Dude, are you serious?
It was a heavy year.
It was
Yeah.
a heavy year. You did see a lot more movies than me, so that does make sense. But my number 9, Saturday Night.
Nice. Okay. Another great movie that didn't crack my 10.
That
but
makes sense.
I did like
I
it.
figured it would not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, everyone kind of understands Dune Part 2.
2.
I mean, it's just some of the best filmmakers.
Oh my
making
God.
a really epic scale sci-fi.
fantasy epic.
But like they nailed so much with the first Dune, but like a lot of the first Dune is set up, and this is where stuff actually happens.
Bro.
And yeah.
Also, just like I feel, because I love the first one too.
Yeah.
I just feel like the dialogue in the second one really witty, really funny.
Yeah. The whole dark messiah complex of it all is so cool. And I love, like, Timothée Chalamet is getting the Oscar buzz for the Dylan movie, but I like his performance in this
More?
way better.
I haven't seen the Dylan movie yet, but I believe you, because and also just like in an era when we think of like, because used to the blockbuster summer movies used to be like Jaws,
Yeah.
Indiana Jones, Jurassic Park. Then for the longest time, a majority of our life, it's been Marvel movies.
Yeah.
So to see a blockbuster big movie like Dune, and it's like taken extremely seriously, you have Timothée Chalamet as the lead, like it just feels so epic. It just feels so much bigger than it must be what like Star Wars felt like when it first came out.
Yeah. But it's also like it feels so much more thoughtful than a lot of the blockbuster movies too. Like it really it has something to say, but it doesn't get in the way of enjoying it. The sandworm writing sequence is so cool. We saw this together at IMAX.
Yeah, we
That
did,
was
dude.
Freaking cool.
I'm not gonna go to detail. The worst week of my entire life. We went and saw Dune 2, and it was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude,
Some of the best cast, best cinematography, the whole inverted infrared sequences.
I mean, the opening shot of like the floating space suits.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. The running joke of him trying to convince them he's not the Messiah, and then it just makes them even more think he is the Messiah.
Yeah.
That it's not Gaib.
Dude, one of the best comic relief characters too.
Dude, what
Became
a
an
great
movie
after
that. Yeah.
Bruh. God, I love that movie so much, which is why it's way higher on my list.
So we'll talk more about it later.
Yeah, my number 9 was Saturday Night. Yeah. I thought that I just really love biopics.
Yeah.
I just love learning about, especially in like the film world, like film and TV. I love that kind of stuff because it's like you're kind of getting a history lesson, but it's structured in a very entertaining movie format. Yeah. It was a comedy. It was a lot of fun. I think the actors did a great job. A lot of people said it felt like oh, never mind. I can't say this on the podcast. A lot of people were making fun of it. It felt like almost like an SNL sketch.
Yeah.
Where the characters just feel like caricatures. But I feel like the guy that played Chevy Chase crushed it.
Yeah. And it looks a lot like him too.
And the kid who plays Lorne Michaels, I feel like did a really tremendous job. He didn't just do the Lorne Michaels impression.
Yeah. I like that it leans into the concept of this all happens in the course of like an hour or
Yeah.
two or something, and that helps it like it allows it to be a little more fictionalized, where
Yeah.
it doesn't have to feel like a completely accurate history of
Yeah,
everything.
and it's not like a gritty, like grounded. This is what it was like behind the scenes of making a Saturday Night Live. No, it's like it's very silly.
Yeah.
and it's poking fun at itself. But I also really loved how it's a movie about a guy who has an artistic vision. He doesn't really know how to explain it,
Yeah.
and the studio system is trying to destroy it, and it works out for him. And I just think that's a really good movie to make now.
Yeah.
You know, with that
Yeah.
kind of message.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. Dude, Willem Dafoe killed it this year too. I forget that he's in that.
Dude,
but
Willem Dafoe. I was thinking about this the other day. I don't know what happened. Willem Dafoe turned 60 and was like, "It's time to work."
yeah.
I think I think he was in every movie released in the past 3 years. I mean, he's in the Aquaman movies.
Yeah.
He's
You're gonna find out that he was like a tree or something in like
Wicked.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's in the Northman last year.
Yeah.
He's in Nosferatu this year. He's in everything. He's in everything.
Yeah.
Man, what a legend.
Number 8.
Okay, yeah, I'm excited to see what your number 8.
Number 8 is I Saw the TV Glow.
Fuck, I missed that one too this year,
Yeah.
dude. I'm gonna watch that one soon.
Okay.
I finally, hopefully, just everything's calmed down. I have some time to catch up on some movies, which I want to give you guys an update. If you watched last year's top 10 video, where I hadn't seen any movie, I've gone back and watched pretty much every movie from 2023.
Yeah.
So like Poor Things, basically your whole list that I hadn't seen, I have caught up on, and I loved it.
Nice.
Sorry, keep going.
So you'll be saying the same thing next year. Too.
Yeah.
We should be doing these in like July.
Yeah, you gotta give me time to catch up, brother. What did you say again?
I saw the TV Glow.
Okay, I saw the TV go. Mine kind of similar. Lisa Frankenstein.
Okay, nice. I love Lisa Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm.
It's not on the list, but I did love it. Nope.
Oops. I figured it wouldn't make your list because I struggled. I thought about it a lot if it was going to make my list or not, and it did, and it made it pretty high.
Yeah, yeah. It feels very Tim Burton inspired, but it has some new blood to it.
Yeah.
Plus the Diablo Cody script, like her mark is very clear on it.
I think just all around, it's one of those movies. My list so far has been just really fun movies.
Yeah.
And that was another one where I just watched. I enjoyed it the entire time. The visuals were very striking, very cool. That whole moon sequence,
Yeah.
it's like puppetry almost. Like,
Yeah.
I just think that it was like, visually my favorite. He's not my favorite director, but I love Tim Burton's visual style. And so to see a movie kind of on that style, but with a unique take in their own taste, I just thought was really cool.
My favorite part of that is
The mom
character.
Me too. We've talked about this a lot. Yeah.
The absolute worst person in the world identifying as an empath.
Oh,
just
dude.
speaks to
Yeah,
me.
that's because I've never before. No one has ever really boiled down that kind of person.
Yeah.
And now there's a perfect example of like, there's certain people that in my whole life that I've known that are like that, and I despise, and I don't know how to explain it. But now I can just be like, watch
Someone's
this
finally
movie.
done it. Yeah.
And that is that's wrong with this person.
Yeah, I Saw the TV Glow is just one of the most out there things I've seen. I mean, it explores like your relationship with media you grew up with and how you remember it versus how it actually is.
Yeah.
But also like the whole movie, there's stuff where you don't quite know if it's real or not. Like the thing I walked out of it thinking is it almost feels like this movie is the Matrix if Neo took the blue pill instead of the red pill.
Whoa.
Is like, what if he stayed in the simulation versus going out of it? Like it's a really cool theme I've never like really seen anyone else do. And of course they're queer
Yeah, it's
themes to it as well.
Because I haven't
like
seen it.
Yeah,
it's like a story. It's a trans story.
the director is transgender.
Okay, yeah. I'm super excited to watch this movie. Like it was one of my most like anticipated movies when it came out, and I just somehow missed it. I need to sit down and watch it because it's on Max, I think, or something.
Yeah. The in-universe show, I think, is like pretty inspired by Buffy the Vampire Hunter.
Right. Yeah. I've seen like frames and clips and stuff online. I'm like everything. I'm like I will love this movie. I just need to sit down and watch it.
The visuals are absolutely crazy. The lead performance it's one of those incredible performances that isn't going to get any Oscar buzz, but deserves it.
And it's the lead guy, right?
Yeah. Fred Durst is even in it a little bit. Fred Durst came back this year, which is crazy.
And we needed a Durst-assance.
Yeah.
Dude, we needed to bring him back. All right.
So,
Number seven.
My number 7 is The Substance.
My number 7, Trap.
Ooh, okay.
So again, kind of similar tone-wise.
Yeah, a little bit. The Substance is just one of the most visually striking things that came out this year. Like it has a very specific out there tone that it sticks to really well. Just crazy body horror too. Like just some really off the wall. Like they really took a big swing and just uncompromisingly just went for it, which I love.
Yeah, story about me almost watching The Substance.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, my wife, and her niece and nephew, we had all sat down to start watching The Substance.
Yeah.
And I've had a rough year. And towards the end of this year, I was really like, I was like, I'm tired, dude. I went to bed. It was like 7. And I was like, guys, I'm not going to make it through this movie. I'm going home. So I went home and went to sleep. So I could have watched The Substance. And I still want to because they loved it too. But I will catch up. I will watch it.
Okay. Yeah. The main critique everyone has of it that don't like it is they say it's like a little too on the nose. But the thing about this movie is like,
is it fucking Grand Theft Auto happening outside? What is going on?
I heard a helicopter, maybe a gunshot.
I hear a cop car. Oh, there's a dude riding by on a John Deere tractor.
Oh, that's what it is.
Anyway,
did all those sounds come from the tractor?
No, okay. I don't know what was happening. All right, continue.
Oh, people think it's on the nose, but the thing about it is The Substance knows exactly what it is. It's not trying to be anything really big or deeper than what it is. Like something being on the nose is bad when the film is convinced that it's deeper than it actually is.
Got you.
But this movie knows exactly what it is. It just does it. And that's why the visuals, the performances, all the horror, gore, and everything just all work so well. Is it just knows exactly what it wanted to be, and it did it.
Lead actress in that movie is
Demi Moore.
Fantastic. That kind of a comeback for her too.
Yeah. Which this is actually one of the few horror movies that actually is getting the awards buzz. So that's exciting.
Well, it got really popular, like even outside of like film circles. Like it got really popular just in the general audience.
Dude, it's produced by Mubi too, which is really cool.
Yeah, that is really cool.
They've been, because they're like a streaming service, but they've produced a few movies that look really good, but I haven't seen. And so I'm glad that like that studio is getting bigger.
Like, we're finally reaching the point where it's like the Quentin Tarantino story, where it's like just the guy at your local movie rental store who loves movies so much, knows movies really well, so they make a good movie.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what Mubi is.
Yeah.
It's like, it's this kind of lesser known streaming service, but they love movies and they know movies, so they make good ones.
Yeah. Hopefully they have a lot more money to produce a lot more, because it could be a much needed A24 competitor.
Mubi?
Yeah.
Mubi and A24 fighting for those art house.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. They'll have to rebrand. They'll have to. They'll be like B26.
B26.
Oh, man. Okay. Number 6.
Wait, what was your 7?
Trap. Oh, yeah. I didn't talk about Trap.
Yeah.
I got caught up in Demi Moore.
Yeah.
Don't we all?
I mean,
Bruce Willis, am I right? They were married.
Yeah.
So was Ashton Kutcher and Demi Moore, I think.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Cougar. Yeah. Okay, the Trap movie. Did this not make your list?
No.
That makes sense. But this is less of like it would just be like a fun movie the whole time.
Yeah.
I just really enjoyed it as a thriller. I mean, it's just a really simple premise. Is like, how's this guy gonna get out of here?
Yeah.
If I'm being completely honest, I don't love how he got out of there. I would have liked it to be a different way, but I did. Josh Hartnett, amazing performance. I thought it was really cool. It was one of those movies where it's like, it sounds like something we would have come up with. Where it's like, oh yeah, so he's a serial killer is at a Taylor Swift concert trying to escape. How does he do it? I just really enjoyed that movie.
I really enjoyed it too. My thing about it is the last 30 minutes feel very unnecessary and weird, but I love that he did it anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I love that M. Night Shyamalan could just take a swing like that.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like if he would have made this movie 10 years ago, it would have ended before he even left the stadium.
Exactly.
And it would have been kind of up, like...
Yeah.
But I liked the ending. It wasn't my favorite, but...
Yeah, but it also, like, it's not formulaic, which is cool.
Yeah, and
you didn't know where it was going.
No.
So.
Yeah. I wish I had more to say about some of these movies, but I really don't. I just really liked them.
Yeah, it's just a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, speaking of good times, my number 6 is Twisters.
Dude. Heck yeah, dude. I mean, mine's not Twisters, but Twisters is on my list.
Okay.
My number 6, that's what we're on, right?
Yep.
Wicked.
Nice.
Made it pretty high up on the list. I knew it wasn't going to make your list.
No. But man, Twisters. I don't know what it is about Twisters. It just gets my blood pumping.
Dude, it's like...
It really feels like people are like, they don't make movies like they used to, and someone finally kind of did.
Yeah.
But it still feels current day. But like, I haven't seen just a straight action adventure movie like that in forever. And the thing about Twisters is, like, it's not a perfect movie, but...
No, but who cares? Because tornadoes and trucks and music.
Exactly. Yeah.
Dude, that movie gets
Country
me.
stuff, yeah.
That song...
Ain't no love in Oklahoma.
Dude, man, what a great movie. I don't even care that some of it doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, because here's the thing about it. It's like none of the science makes sense.
No, it's like we could stop tornado. We could turn off tornadoes.
It's like this college girl just randomly knows how to end a tornado and is just sitting on that. It's like, why did no one think about just like throwing sand in a tornado or something? And then... You know, the main character, there's not that much to them other than a slightly troubled past. They're just really smart for no reason, not a lot of emotion. But the thing is, it's like that was every male protagonist in the 90s.
Those movies.
And all those movies ruled. And this one, like, it goes back to that. It just understands you need a simple character. Yeah. You need some heavy hitting action scenes and just like a really charismatic side character. Like the original Twisters, the protagonist is so boring and no one cares.
Right. Because it's dude.
Yeah.
Well, so I feel like do you know the director that did Twisters?
Oh, so it's Lee Isaac Chung. And that's the other great thing about it is his last movie was Minari, which is it's like the Asian family in the South. And it's just like a really honest portrayal of what Southern farm living is like. And so he was the perfect person to do this. And it's a very big deviation from what Minari was.
Because Minari is like a drama.
Yeah. But in the midst of this big studio action movie, you could still see traces of his work and how he photographs the South. And it's really cool that a director's voice like that could
come through in a big studio film like that.
The studio film.
Especially with it being already like a big IP kind of thing. Man, in a Patrick Willems video where he's talking about the movie Zorro, he says something along the lines of like movies get so caught up in being like why this makes sense or how sometimes stuff just has to be cool. Yeah. Sometimes you just got Zorro's wind flapping his cape and he makes a Z in the air with his sword and it doesn't make any sense, but it's cool. Yeah. And that's what Twisters is. It's cool, dude.
Dude, it's just cool.
I saw it
Something
in theaters.
About tornado. Dude, also just anything looks more cinematic when there's rain and you just get all that storm footage. It's really funny. There's like these perfect emotional callbacks in the second half of it. I think it's really effective.
Movie, man. Hell yeah. I love Twisters.
I love the soundtrack too. It's like a really great like sampler of all the country music that's out there right now, like every different style of country music.
That new country, baby. It's not bro country anymore. It's like poetry.
Well, that's the thing. No, Twister soundtrack, it has bro country on it, and then it also has just like the Oklahoma red dirt country.
I was really into bro country at like the peak of the bro country's ruining country movement. Like people would be like just tearing bro country a new one, and I'm just sitting there like, I love it. Florida Georgia line, baby. God,
dude, it's so good as a sequel too, because it reverses the dynamic of the original Twisters, where like the original Twister is like the ragtag group up against the big corporation. Then you find out in the first 20 minutes, oh wait, we're in the big corporation.
Yeah, but it's like, but you're still the underdog somehow.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, I don't want to spoil the movie, but they do cool things with that. But it's like you start the movie in a place that's kind of uncomfortable for you. And it's like, whoa, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, and then it's just so sick. It's like riding a tornado, man.
Yeah.
Sick. My movie also involves a tornado. Wicked.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, at the end of the day, guys, I'm just a theater kid.
Yeah.
I love Wizard of Oz so much.
Yeah.
I love Wicked. Yeah. I love musicals. I went and saw it on Thanksgiving night in theaters. Had a great time. The performances I feel are genuinely really good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not perfect. It doesn't look great. It's probably the biggest criticism is like it's not a very vibrant film for it to be based about, you know, one of the most vibrant fictional worlds ever. But I just like, and it's even like it. I don't know if this is a criticism that it receives, but it's something that I would kind of assume that it receives. It feels fan fiction-y because it essentially is.
Yeah.
It's like the beginning of that, was it Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, where the opening sequence is young Indiana Jones getting all of his trademarks within like a 5-minute sequence. And it's like, well, yeah. But like when I was a kid, like when I was really little, like I watched The Wizard of Oz every night for like years. So I just really, really love The Wizard of Oz. So when I saw Wicked, I was like, I was just glad it existed. Yeah. It's not perfect. I don't think it necessarily deserves a bunch of the Oscar buzz that it's getting, except for maybe like best song or something.
Yeah.
But I'm just glad it exists, and I really liked watching it.
Yeah. I had a good time with it. It should get like production design Oscars. Totally.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have much to say about it. I just liked it.
I liked it. Everyone doesn't think that because I wrote a very long Letterboxd review complaining about one thing, which is I hate the color grade in it. But I mean, it's a good movie.
Well, I thought during your review, because I thought that you disliked the movie, because I thought, and I could be wrong, during your review at one point you're like, it's fine, I guess. And so I was like, oh, he didn't really like it. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah. All right. Number 5.
Okay. This is maybe our best chance of being the same movie.
You think so?
Yeah, this is our best shot.
Okay.
What is yours?
My number 5 is A Different Man.
Never mind.
I didn't think so.
My number 5 is Rebel Ridge.
Dude, okay. Rebel Ridge didn't make my 10. But again, dude. it is one of those movies that in another year would easily would.
My number 5, dude, Rebel Ridge.
Yeah.
All right, talk about A Different Man. That is the movie with Sebastian Stan.
Yeah, so it's Sebastian Stan and Adam Pearson are the two lead characters. Adam Pearson has this like really rare, like I think like gland condition or something where there's just a bunch of tumors on his face. He's had them since he was a child. Yeah. And the director of this movie, he doesn't have it as extreme, but I don't know. There's so much like no one really agrees what to call them, but the people in the movie prefer the term disfigured. So he's like a disfigured person too.
Okay.
But
just on like a lower end of the spectrum.
Yeah. Yeah. So this guy wrote a movie where Sebastian Stan plays a person with the same condition as Adam Pearson, but then finds this magical cure to get it removed. And so he becomes a normal person, a different man, you know? And he's like, okay, I'm now like conventionally attractive. I could live life how I wanted to. But then he encounters somebody that has the exact same condition that he had. And he just has such a good attitude about life and is so charismatic that he actually ends up getting everything that this main character wanted. And it, on the surface, when I say that, it sounds like this really just inspirational, hopeful tale. Yeah. But what makes it so great is that it is not. At any time it is about to veer into that, it just takes a sharp turn. Yeah, it is a very dark comedy. That's funny. Instead of being like, look at how hopeful and inspiring this character is, which there's a bit of that, but it's mainly about making Sebastian Stan's character absolutely miserable at every single turn, which is so funny. And it's just a very well plotted out movie where when you think things can't get worse to him, they just like get worse and worse and worse. And
that's really funny.
Yeah, it's one of the most cleverly written things I've seen. Sebastian Stan's great in it too. He's getting all this buzz for the Trump movie,
but he should be getting it for a different man.
Yeah. But
that makes sense.
It's just one of the most creatively written things I've seen. It looks beautiful too. I think a year or two ago I talked about this movie, The Worst Person in the World, but the main actress from that is in here too, and she's such a complicated, fun character too. Like everyone's like really complicated and has layers, and they all just like collide perfectly. So
that's awesome.
Really good movie.
Yeah, that's another one I haven't seen, and it's probably towards the end of my watch list, but I will get there.
Yeah,
I will get there. Mine was Rebel Ridge, which was an action. I saw where someone called it the thinking man's Rambo.
Yeah.
But Rambo in itself was also like a thinking man's movie. You know, it's not it's not like just action all the time. Like it is a cerebral film.
Yeah.
But Rebel Ridge, dude. I mean, this guy goes into this small town, a corrupt cop starts messing with him. There's like, you know, he doesn't use guns. He doesn't use weapons. He just hand to hand just takes down a town. And it's awesome the entire time. It's one of my favorite action movies, definitely of the year, but maybe of even ever.
Yeah. You know, Thinking Man's Rambo is a great explanation. Because, like, not that the original Rambo is dumb, but, like, this character, every move he makes is extremely calculated. And it feels very grounded. Yeah. Like, he's not accomplishing it. I think he's like a Marine in the movie. Yeah. It's not anything an actual Marine couldn't do.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, and it's even like, not only is he a Marine, but he's like the triple black belt jujitsu teacher of the Marines or whatever. So it's like, And again, it's sort of like Different Man is another one of those things where when you think it can't get any worse for him, they find a way to do it. The ending is super fun. Again, my whole list this year is pretty much just like movies that I just had a blast watching. And this is another one. I mean, there's there's some dark moments in this movie, but Anna Sophia Robb is in this movie. Yeah. Who, you know, she traumatized all of us in our childhoods from The Bridge to Terabithia. And so the whole time there was real stakes for me in this movie. Because I'm like, I swear to God, if they kill Anna Sophia Robb, I
can't see her die again.
I can't. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't exactly say, like, it's not getting any Oscar buzz. And I think that's okay, because I think it's still just a really good movie.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, really good. I mean, that lead actor's career is definitely going somewhere after that.
He's a Green Lantern now.
That's right.
So sick.
Yeah.
And apparently that Green Lantern show is going to be like True Detective.
Oh, wow.
I'm pumped, dude.
Wow.
I'm superheroed out. But James Gunn's DCU, I'm very, very excited for. Because I love DC way more than Marvel. Yeah. Anyway.
Number 4.
Okay.
My number 4 is Flow.
Mine is Twisters.
Nice.
So we've already talked a lot about Twisters.
Okay.
So
nice. Dude, Flow is great. I forget what country this was made in. It was one of those countries where it's like, maybe I had read it once, but I was like, I don't really know where this is or if it exists or not. But yeah, it's an animated movie made completely in Blender. So
which excited me a lot.
Yeah, free animation software, but it's just like craft wise one of the most effective movies I've seen. Like it's completely silent. It's all about animals, and so the animals will like bark and meow at people, but that's like the only.
They don't speak English.
yeah. No talking animals, but it takes place in like maybe a post-apocalyptic world or something. We don't know what happened. We're just dropped in this world and we get little clues, but the world is flooding, and there's this cat that's just trying to escape the flood, and all the animals are trying to escape the flood, and the cat ends up on a boat with a capybara, and then there's this whole group of little misfit animals that are all just trying to survive in the boat together. And
Heck yeah.
it looks beautiful. There are so many really tense sequences that I feel like it plots these sequences out the way that like horror directors almost plot out scares and reveals, even though it's not as intense. Like it manages to feel like this really epic adventure movie. Like it reminds me of like watching Lord of the Rings, almost like just this epic journey movie. Yeah. Like I feel like this director could do a Lord of the Rings type movie if he was offered it,
because he's nailed the pacing.
Yeah, and just effective storytelling with no dialogue, really emotional moments. Really, again, it's like really complex characters, even though they're all animals that don't talk. It's just it's so cool, and the team behind this was so small. The animation, like you probably use a bunch of plugins or whatever, but Blender is free.
Yeah, so. and it's open source too, so it's like if you can come up with tools that you need, you can make them yourself and then provide them to other people.
Yeah. The cinematography of it, like he just knows how to frame an image. There are a bunch of oneers that have so many really cool images just in between them. I love the soundtrack too. The score is great.
That's important if there's no dialogue.
It's all around incredible movie. Also, I just love cute animals too.
Well, of course.
The capybara in this particularly is just an icon.
That's really cool. I need to watch that movie. That was like a recent. That came out pretty recently.
Yeah.
I remember you showed me the trailer and I was like, "Is this Blender?"
Yeah.
And it was.
Yeah.
That's super exciting to me because I'd have to look this up, but probably the first feature film made in Blender.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, probably the first that's getting like this attention, at least. Yeah. Maybe a theatrical release or something.
Probably. Yeah, because I don't know of many Blender projects of that scale.
I mean, what's like the went viral on YouTube? It's like a little bean character and it has a gun.
I haven't seen this. I don't think
this was years ago, but it's like feature film length.
Okay, it's Blender?
Yeah.
I need to look that up. That sounds fun. Okay, number 3.
My number 3 is Nosferatu.
Dang, dude, I really wish I'd seen that movie by the time we'd done this. My number 3, Hundreds of Beavers.
Wow. I didn't expect it to be 3.
Well, my top 2, I could not deny.
Okay.
Top 2 status.
Okay.
Hundreds of Beavers.
Yeah.
I know Hundreds of Beavers probably on your list. So if you'd like, we can save the Hundreds of Beavers list conversation for when we get to it on your list.
I mean, just like talk about what you liked about it, I guess.
I really wish I would have seen it in theaters.
Yeah.
I saw it at your apartment sitting in an office chair.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, one of the best movies I've ever seen. It's like a live action Looney Tunes. The stuff that they were able to pull off physical comedy wise. I'm a huge physical comedy guy. It's just amazing. Visual effects are like, I'm not going to say crude, but they look handmade in the best way possible. Yeah. The movie is about hundreds of beavers. It's about this guy trying to trap. It's like, I think either you explained it this way or you heard it or we heard it somewhere where it's like a video game where you're watching the part that's usually a montage for an entire movie. And it's so sick. I mean, the ending is so epic. It's just everything about this movie is awesome. I'm sure you have a lot more like nuanced things to say about it when we get to it. But I love this movie. It's hysterical. Great performances. It's silly. It's goofy. It's like a live action Looney Tunes cartoon. Everything about it is awesome.
Yeah. Nosferatu. I feel like it's all that, but for horror instead of comedy. Whoa. It's so ambitious, and like Eggers he does historical adaptations really well. Like The Witch, The Lighthouse, Northman. He just nails like historic dialogue really well. But
his parents were like Shakespeare professors at a university or something like that. So he's just like in them.
Yeah. But I mean, the original Nosferatu, like we've watched it a bunch of times.
Yeah.
It's a really effective movie for being over 100 years old or 100 years old, something like that.
Well over 100 years old.
I saw someone say Jimmy Carter died like yesterday. Or the
Jimmy Carter got to see all 3 Nosferatus.
Yeah, he was alive for all Nosferatu releases.
I think we're coming up on 100 years of Nosferatu. I think it was 24. Yeah. 1924.
Yeah, but he manages to like take that story and just like up the stakes to it. Like when you put in like modern horror conventions into that layout, because again, like with all his adaptations, he doesn't change the core of what it is at all. He sticks pretty faithfully to it. It's just like the possession sequences are crazy, how they play with Nosferatu's shadow.
Yeah.
Like he really leans into the aesthetic of the original movie to where like, so cool. Since it was like film that was tinted blue or orange or whatever, green, there's so many images where the color is taken out other than like that one color. But it's done kind of diegetically, almost like in universe, like it's not an effect. Love the performances in it, and just he takes a really big swing. Like he changes the look of Nosferatu to something really different.
I'm so excited. I haven't had it spoiled for me what he looks like yet, so I'm super excited.
I forgot it was Bill Skarsgård in it because it looks so much not like him. Yeah,
I'm so excited to see that movie. I'm a big fan of Nosferatu. I've gotten to see a Nosferatu with a live orchestra, like scoring it, which was super cool. I'm a big Dracula fan, and Nosferatu is, an illegal adaptation of Dracula. And I'm just so excited because I feel like from the little I've seen, what people have talked about, what you've talked about, it could become my favorite adaptation of Dracula. Yeah.
It's just, it has such a strong mood to it. You really feel like you're on these like cold streets or in this cold castle, and it really plays up just the psychosexual nature of what's happening with the vampire and that girl.
Well, here's the thing about, and this is like, whenever I talk about Dracula, if you need to know anything about Dracula, he has one weakness: bad bitches.
That's Oh, another thing about this movie. Charlie XCX gave it 5 stars. Her letterbox leaked like 2 days ago.
Yeah,
like people found her. Yeah.
Nosferatu.
Yeah, dude, she has great taste. It is so surprising. She watches a lot. She watched like 280 movies this year.
Jeez Louise.
And Bride of Frankenstein is in her top 4.
Oh yeah, well, it's one of the best movies of all time, dude.
God, but it's Nosferatu. You got to see that.
I will be seeing it like this week. Like I'm so pumped to see it. All right,
number 2.
Go ahead.
My number 2 is Sing Sing.
I knew that this was going to be either your number 1 or your number 2, but now I know the rest of your order.
Yeah.
My number 2 is Dune Part 2.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, mine was very neck and neck, and it's really just choosing which one I was more in the mood for, because this is a very dramatic but also inspiring, hopeful movie about a theater program in a prison. And what makes it so special is it is very grounded in reality. Like it's adapted from the actual story of the guy that ran this program in the same prison in Sing Sing. And other than the lead actor, Coleman Domingo, and
getting Oscar buzz.
Yeah, he deserves it. Other than him and one other actor, he's like a theater guy. Everyone else is played by a former prisoner that was in this program. And
wild.
Yeah. It's one of the most emotional experiences I had watching a movie, and I got to see it at the Grail Movie House. It was the last movie I saw there before the Asheville hurricane.
Yeah.
But
Helene.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had nothing but like amazing things to say about this movie, and it wasn't available to watch in our area except for at the Grail Movie House.
That's why those independent theaters are so important, because like watching it in a theater really did make a difference, because like everybody was just captivated by it. Like you could probably like hear a fly buzzing during some of those really intense sequences. But yeah, it's really dramatic, but it's such a hopeful movie too, because their circumstances are so bleak, but they manage to find joy no matter where they are. And I don't really know what else to say about it off the top of my head, other than it's just something you should watch.
Yeah,
and
if you get the chance to.
Yeah. Coleman Domingo should win the Oscar.
That's high praise, dude. This was a big year for movies. So the fact that such a small movie.
But also, even other than that, like the former prisoners do so well in the movie. You would have thought they were trained actors too. Which I guess technically the theater program is training, but it's very different from studying the method in London at some fancy college.
They didn't go to Juilliard.
Yeah,
they went to Arkham Asylum. I want a Batman movie where the Arkham prisoners get together and just do Sing Sing like they.
The other cool thing about Sing Sing is they super small movie, shot very quickly, but they did a unique like profit sharing way of making this movie where everyone got paid a flat rate no matter who you were, and everyone shares in the profits of it. So
that's really cool.
Yeah, you could sense that in watching the movie. Just everyone feels really invested in it. Everyone knows this is an important movie that's gonna do something.
Yeah, that's awesome. Dune. We've already talked about Dune a lot. I mean, watching it in theaters, just that whole movie, I was just on the edge of my seat. It was just one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
So it made it number 2 on my list.
Now I'm curious what one is.
It's a movie that makes sense for me.
Okay.
I mean, you probably won't be surprised, but you'll be like, oh yeah, I forgot to put that.
Okay.
Or not, I forgot about that movie, maybe.
Cool.
All right.
Well, so, we should get to it.
Number 1.
My number one. I know what
your number 1
is. Hundreds of Beavers.
Yeah, dude. Fantastic movie. And I'm sure you got something really good to say about it. My number 1, Furiosa, a Mad Max saga.
Okay.
Which we saw together, right?
Yep.
That's just like, it's just what I like. It's just exactly what I want to watch all the time. I could put it on right now. I can put it on anytime and just love that movie so much. It's big, it's bright, it's colorful. It's some of the coolest action scenes ever. Yeah. It's the performances are super great. I mean, Anya Taylor-Joy is just a phenomenal actress in everything. And then so to put her as like the Mad Max of a Mad Max movie is just like baller. I like the lore of the world of the Mad Max world. I really love how Mad Max and Furiosa are like these they're almost like Greek mythological characters where you're hearing about a legend. And so the movie and the story doesn't always have to make sense because it kind of sounds like the long line of a game of telephone where they've been talking about this legend named Furiosa.
Yeah.
And I really like that movie.
Yeah. No, again, it's one of those movies that didn't make my top 10, but like any other year
it would have.
Because how I knew it's a great movie is I needed to like pee really bad while watching it.
Didn't want to.
Well, what happened was right when I was about to leave was when this like 20 to 30 minute action sequence just on that one truck happened.
Yeah. I can't leave in the middle of this.
I had to watch the entire thing. It's so engrossing, captivating.
Man. There's like several 30-minute long action set pieces in this movie. And every time you're just like on the edge of your seat the whole time. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's almost like an opera. Without the singing, it's like it's almost I don't even know. I don't have the words to express how much I love that movie.
It's an opera with a lot more guns. Which,
instead of singing,
idea to put in our back pocket. Opera but guns.
Hey, write that down. Yeah, everything. I mean, that's just the epitome of what I want to see at the movies.
Yeah. Hundreds of Beavers. I mean, I feel like we talked about this a lot, but super low budget movie with a super small team. They really lean into their limitations, but the animation work on top of everything. Again, it's a very specific style, but it works so well for what this is. But the reason it's number one is just the way these people are able to plot out sequences, and they're really entertaining. Watching it just in and of themselves is just some of the funniest stuff you see, but they manage to build on top of each other and discreetly plant setups that leave the callbacks
Huge
that culminate in
payoffs,
this giant, really epic climax. Like you have no idea where the movie's going to go when you start it, because it starts so small, but it invents its own cinematic language. Like it does. Yeah, it's both like the Looney Tunes cartoon, but it's also very video game inspired.
Well, it's like if you would have just like read the script and be like, I want to make this movie, but it's like $100 million budget.
Yeah,
but then you're like, no, we'll do it with After Effects and a dream.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
Yeah, but like it invents its own way of visually telling a story, and the first 20 minutes are really masterful because it's very discreetly teaching you how to watch the movie. Yeah. And you're watching it and you're just having a good time, but you realize it's almost like this 20-minute video game tutorial of how you understand what they're about to show you. Yeah. And then things really kick into gear.
Another movie, no dialogue, really.
Yeah. Very little. Best title slam I think I've ever seen in a movie.
It's like 30 minutes into the movie.
Oh, it's way longer than that.
It's so way funny.
Longer than that. And then finally, like, I think the reason I love Hundreds of Beavers so much, other than just being the funniest thing, being really innovative, showing what you could do with what you have, is like the directors like very much prioritize just making a fun movie, like just a funny movie. They will tell you that's all it is, and there's nothing deeper to it. That. But I honestly, like, I do kind of take some meaning out of Hundreds of Beavers.
I do.
Because like it presents itself as this classic American folklore tale. It's almost like Paul Bunyan era, but it's this man that loses everything to his vices in the first 5 minutes, and he has to like from nothing rebuild and become something new and overcome what was his downfall
and become a better man than he was in the first place.
Yeah, and you see it in almost real time. Like, you see all the hard work. You touched on it, but like what this movie is would be a training montage in any other movie. But they make you watch absolutely everything and watch him fail over and over again and slowly start to succeed and build himself up more. And it's like, it's really cool watching that, because
so cool. And it's so cool.
Yeah, and we're all like have moments in our life that are like that. Yeah. Like even like again, like one of the best parts of this was seeing it at Grail. It was like my favorite movie theater experience ever.
I wish I could have seen it at a theater. Yeah,
I have seen 2 standing ovations ever, and one was the midnight premiere of The Dark Knight Rises, and the other was this random Saturday.
The Dark Knight Rises? That's the worst one.
Or not the Dark Knight. The one with the Heath Ledger Joker one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that one deserves it. But and then Hundreds of Beavers.
Yeah. Yeah. We were all just...
People are calling Hundreds of Beavers the Dark Knight of
the Dark Knight of comedy.
Of comedy. I mean, dude, that movie it's also very inspiring. Yeah. Because it's like, because I mean, we try to make movies.
Yeah.
And to watch that is like, it's like we could well, I won't say that we could do that because it's obviously like never been done before.
Yeah.
It's its own unique thing, but like it's possible to make something cheaply that's this level of amazing.
Yeah. But yeah, Hundreds of Beavers is just a life, you know, like us trying to make movies. Yeah. We're starting out with absolutely nothing. We don't have beavers. Anything. But we just, you know, we apply ourselves and we're slowly getting there.
Yeah, we're living the montage.
Yeah. And even like with Grail, like the whole theater flooded and is gone. And so they're kind of in the same spot that character was in.
Literally.
At the top of it. But they'll
washed away.
They'll rebuild.
That's right. It's just it'll be better than ever.
That's what life is, and I like that this movie doesn't skip over any of that. You see, it's so funny.
Such a good movie.
The mascot performances are
that's another thing. We haven't even like said that out loud. Is like a majority of the characters in this movie are just people in animal mascot costumes.
Yeah.
God. And you buy into it immediately. Like at no point in that movie you're like, there's a person in that costume. It's like, no, that's a beaver.
Yep.
That's a rabbit. That's a raccoon.
The only one is they're very intentional about the horse.
I'm gonna watch. Elizabeth hasn't seen it yet, so I'm gonna make her watch it because I love that movie.
It got on Tubi. It's on Prime now, which you should
pay for.
Yeah, for free.
Oh, whoa.
Which you should watch it on Prime because Tubi sometimes doesn't have the best quality. But
I think they pay more though. Like I think they might make more money if you watch it on Tubi.
Maybe. But it's like $720 at max. And the last time I watched it, like it would dip into $240 and I couldn't change it. So.
Yeah. Watch it on Prime. Yeah. Watch that movie. Like out of any movie on these lists, watch Hundreds of Beavers. Because you're also supporting small independent filmmakers.
Yes. Man, I'm still waiting for the Blu-ray.
Yeah, I'm waiting for them to come out because I need the behind the scenes. I need them. So whenever that comes out, we got to buy. I don't even have a Blu-ray player. No. I'll buy one. Man, all right.
Yeah.
These are our top 10 movies of 2024. What a year.
Crazy. Yeah. Dude, you know what? Like looking back on these movies.
Yeah.
One of the kind of sad things about this year.
What's that?
But all of the top 10 highest grossing movies were sequels this year. People are talking about like how sad that is. But yeah, there were so many great original movies. I think two of my movies were sequels. One of them a very independent movie. But yeah, there's so much cool stuff going on.
Wait, which one of your sequels? Oh, Terrifier 3.
Yeah.
I was like, which one of your sequels was an independent movie? Yeah, Terrifier 3.
Yeah, there's so much cool things going on in independent film. Studios could still make a really great blockbuster. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff going on, and if you just spend the time to like look a little deeper, like there is so much good art out there being made.
3 of mine were sequels. 1 was a prequel. Yeah. The rest were original.
I guess maybe Twisters counts.
I was thinking reboot. Yeah, I did a sequel for that one because I had Lisa Frankenstein original, Saturday Night. I guess that's original, but it's based on an existing Trap. Wicked is not a sequel, but it is based on a IP. And then Rebel Ridge, Hundreds of Beavers. Yeah. I love movies, man.
Yeah, me too.
I love movies. I also love TV shows. I think that's where we differ a little bit. You're not a big TV guy.
Yeah. Well, dude, one of the reasons I saw so many movies this year was I didn't quit almost all my streaming services and I just kept Regal Unlimited.
And so, to the movies.
I mean, it was really cool. Just when I wanted to watch something, I actually like went up and went somewhere.
That is cool. I can't do that, but I want to. I watched a lot of TV this year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you get paid for it now, so
I watched a lot of Pretty Little Liars. I watched 45 hours of Pretty Little Liars this year. I watched the show Velma. Which was not an easy watch. Yeah. watched a lot of TV this year. But hey guys, if you're watching this then you're probably someone who has stuck around us for these past 4 years that we've been doing Written By. This year, we didn't do a whole lot of podcast episodes. We really focused on making short films. If you're new here, thank you very much for watching this. I hope you stick around because we have a lot of cool stuff that we're wanting to do, what we're trying to do. We're kicking off 2025 with a big short film that we're hopefully going to be raising money for, and something that Robert's been working very hard on. Robert's very passionate about it. And who knows what we'll do after that. That's the beginning of the year. The rest of the year, I'm gonna pick what we do after Locked In, and Robert ain't gonna be happy about
it. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. I mean, it's been a very different year. We very much prioritized just making a bunch of shorts, and half of them are out, half of them we still have post-production work to do on. But again, we're 2025 is going to be a very different year. We're focusing on a few really big projects, and so it'll be fun to have the shorts we haven't released kind of roll out in the meantime.
Well, yeah. Because we have 3.
Yeah, we have 3,
and one of them is the funniest thing we've ever made.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, you could subscribe here to keep up to date with that. Also, whenever the Locked In crowdfunding campaign starts, we'll post about that here too.
That's right. You can also check out Robert's personal YouTube channel if you're interested in music, the music scene.
Yeah, it's Robert2_Isaac. And then Chase's YouTube channel.
If you like mystery solving and teen drama, I'm the guy to come to. I'll give a exclusive here. I've been making posts on my community page and my Patreon stuff, trying to let people guess what my next video is. But for the Written By fans, I'm doing Can I Solve Riverdale before the reveal.
Yeah.
So
I've heard him talk about it. It's going to be a really fun video.
Be wild. The main reason I can tell you guys and I can't tell my channel is because people will spoil it if I tell them what I'm doing next. Like immediately, the first, like if I was like, guys, I'm doing Can I Solve Riverdale? The first comment will be, oh, this is what happens. I trust you guys. Yeah. All right, guys. Hey, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. I don't know.
Yeah. See you guys soon.